Hi everybody, this is Lauri from Evergreen Pilates. Today we're going to look at footwork, specifically the first three exercises, which are Pilates V, bird on a perch, arches, and heels on the bar. So we like to use 4 springs here. I've got 2 yellows, which are mediums, 1 red, that's a heavy, and 1 light, which is a blue. Headrest is in the medium position and the foot bar is all the way up, and I'm in first gear. So start by turning to face the reformer. Slide forward to the very edge, hold on to the mat and roll yourself down 1 vertebra at a time into the mat. Once you're down, just go ahead and warm up a little bit. So just kind of curling through your pelvis, curling your tailbone towards your belly button, that's what we call a posterior tilt of the pelvis, and then an anterior tilt where you arch your back and drop your tailbone away toward the springs. So curl toward you, flatten out the space, and then curl away and enlarge the space under your low back. Now, find somewhere that's in between those 2 extremes, where your sacrum is level on the mat, your pubic bone and hip bones are parallel with each other, or horizontal, and then soften your ribs into the mat. There will be a little bit of space under your low back, but your ribs should be softened and sinking into the mat. A nice move for the arms and shoulders is just to take your arms up by your sides, maybe hold the silver pegs as reference, and draw your shoulder blades toward the center of your spine. So they slide into a V shape toward the center, kind of down and back. Then bend your elbows, slide your upper arms in, and then lower your forearms down to the mat. Press through your hands. So if you think about having L's from your index fingers to your thumbs, press through those L's, and you'll find an internal rotation for your lower arm bone. Yet with your upper arm bone, spin your triceps back to the mat and your biceps up towards the sky. Okay, so we've stabilized the shoulders, the ribs, and the pelvis. Now, when you pick up your foot and place your foot onto the bar, just keep your hips calm where they are on the mat. Let's start with the Pilates V. So we have the heels together and the balls of the feet, the big toes, about 4 fingers width apart. Press your heels together. Notice what happens right away when you press your heels together. It should activate the backs of the hips. Additionally, pressing the heels together, press them up toward the ceiling so that it spins open your thighs into external rotation. Let's use an inhale to press out and exhale to come in. Using your breath kind of like you would, pressing on the gas pedal in your car so that the breath motivates the movement. Okay, let's begin. So inhale, straightening the legs, exhale, return. Inhale, exhale. I want to keep my hips level as I work, keeping the small space under the low spine, filling up the ribs, inhale, and then exhale, softening them into the mat so they never leave the mat. Inhale out, exhale back in. Let's take 1 more. Inhale and exhale back in. You might even notice that I was decelerating on the way back in, so that has a metronome quality to it. Let's go to the arches and I'll talk more about that. So now the feet are parallel and together. Press through the outsides of your feet, kind of cupping and doming the arches away from the bar, yet spin your inner thighs toward each other so that you're broadening across the back of your hips and narrowing across your low belly. Arms are doing the same thing, so upper arms are spinning open and lower arms are spinning down and inward. Inhale, press out and cup your feet on the bar, dig your heels down and your toes over, and then exhale, pull yourself back in. Inhale and exhale. And in, exhale. So I let my breath set the rate of the movement. And again, it's pretty even going out and back in. Inhale out and exhale in. The next position is the heels. So flex your feet, draw your toes to your knees. Feet are together, still parallel. If you pull the outside toes back, you'll feel the outside of your legs and hips engage more strongly. Inhale, press into the heels, press out and straighten your legs. Exhale, bend. You'll feel the internal spiraling of the legs here, and exhale, bend. Keep reaching down through the back of the thighs, through the back of the hips, keeping a small space under the low back. This exercise to me feels a lot like doing a squat as you reach through your hips to come in. Press through your heels to straighten your legs. Reach through the back of the hip to the heel to come back in. Inhale out. Exhale in. And one more inhale out. Exhale in. Now we're going to tendon stretch. So you place the balls of your feet on the bar, let your toes drape on the bar, and press out to straight legs. Inhale out. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So you're working through your fullest range of motion in your ankle joints without locking out your knees, feeling the backs of the legs dropping down toward the hips. You can tell if you're using your hamstrings and your inner thighs. That's a good indication that the knees are not being locked out. Also notice the alignment. You still have your small space under the back, the softness of the ribs on the mat. If you feel jammed into the shoulder blocks, that means we need to activate a little more strongly through the back of the arm and the shoulder. Okay, let's take this into running now. So bend one knee and let one heel wrap around the bar. Inhale, lift together. Exhale, alternating. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So as you're doing running, keep the length of your waist so there's no swaying side to side. Work through your fullest range of motion. And keep anchoring down through your arms and your shoulders, your ribs and your hips. When you're even, heels stay high and lifted. Press into the foot bar. Bend the knees, so decelerate, control the springs, come all the way in. Again, it has that squat-like feeling. And that's footwork. We'll stop there. So, as a brief recap, we did Pilates V, arches, also known as bird on a perch, heels on the bar, tendon stretch, and running. And thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in class.